Now, the Population Strategy Council of Japan is revealing a very concerning trend. It has said that nearly about 40% municipalities in Japan could just disappear because of a lack of population caused by the persistently low birth rate in the country.
The country has announced a record low number of births in 2022. It was just half the number of deaths last year.
Hello and welcome back to Business APAC. Did you know that Japan is facing a demographic crisis of epic proportions? With a staggering 30% of its population aged 65 or older, Japan holds the highest proportion of elderly citizens in the world, making it the oldest country globally. The situation is even more alarming with 1 in 10 people aged 80 or older. To put that into perspective, that's almost 1 in 3 people. The trend is only worsening. Births in Japan have fallen for the 8th consecutive year, reaching a record low of 727,277 in 2023. This drastic decline is part of a global trend, with the number of people aged 65 and older expected to more than double to 1.6 billion by 2050. So the pressing question is, will Japan become the first country with no young people? Can it reverse this trend, or will it face a future devoid of a younger generation? Let's dive in and explore this crisis further. The land of the rising sun is rapidly becoming the land of the rising elderly population. The country's sub-replacement fertility rate, where couples only have around 1.3 children each, coupled with one of the highest life expectancies in the world, has led to a rapidly aging society. By 2040, over 34.5% of Japan's population will be over 65 years old, meaning more than 1/3 of the people will be seniors. If this trend continues, Japan's population, which was 127 million in 2014, is projected to shrink to just 97 million by 2050. This decline isn't just about numbers, it's about the future of a nation. Will there be enough young people to support and care for the elderly? Japan's aging population is more than just a demographic issue, it's an economic and social challenge. With fewer young people entering the workforce, labor shortages are hitting hard, causing entire industries to struggle to find workers. This shrinking labor force means lower economic growth and increasing pressure on government finances as pension and healthcare costs skyrocket. Japan, once an economic powerhouse, risks losing its global leadership. Socially, traditional family structures are changing, and many elderly people are living alone or in poverty. The burden of elderly care is growing, with insufficient services to meet the demand. A study found that the number of elderly people living alone in Japan is expected to jump by 47% by 2050, and the number of care facilities can't keep up. Can Japan navigate these profound changes, or will it face a future of economic and social struggle? Japan's government is fighting to turn the tide. They raised the mandatory retirement age from 55 to 65 to keep more elderly in the workforce, and now they're even considering raising it to 70. The Stabilization of Employment of Elderly Persons law requires companies to guarantee employment until age 65 and encourages job opportunities until 70. Despite these efforts, the employment rate for those aged 65 to 69 was only 52% in 2023, up just 13.3 percentage points from a decade ago. The government has also provided subsidies for pregnancy, childbirth, and childcare to boost birth rates, though these often just benefit existing parents rather than encourage young people to have children. Additionally, Japan is investing in medical technologies like robots and AI to help care for the elderly, but even with technological advancements, there's still a massive shortage of workers to look after the aging population. Prime Minister Kishida's most significant effort is the plan to establish a new agency dedicated to children and families. He aims to double spending on kids and make Japan a society that prioritizes their well-being. But will it be enough to reverse the demographic decline? Japan is doing everything it can to address this issue, but it's like trying to stop a tsunami with a bucket. The numbers are daunting, and the underlying social and economic factors are deeply rooted. The world is watching to see if Japan can find a way to turn back the tide of aging and decline. Imagine a future where Japan has no young people. The potential consequences are staggering. An aging population without a significant youth presence could transform Japan's culture and society in unimaginable ways. Traditional festivals, vibrant youth cultures, and innovative industries might fade away. The economy would struggle as consumer demand plummets and industries dominated by young workers, like tech and entertainment, shrink dramatically. On the global stage, Japan's influence could wane. An aging workforce means less innovation and reduced economic power, impacting everything from global trade to technological advancements. Experts predict that without drastic changes, Japan could face a severe economic downturn and a loss of its cultural vitality. Japan's population is projected to decline to 63 million by 2100, half of its population in 2022. Meanwhile, the working age population has already dropped from 68.1% in 2000 to 59.4% in 2022, and it's expected to fall further to 51.1% by 2100. As Prime Minister Kishida warns, more aggressive policies are necessary to avoid this grim future. The question remains, can Japan turn the tide, or will it become a nation without youth? Japan is not alone in facing this aging crisis. Many other Asian countries are in the same boat. China recently reported its first population decline since 1961, with its birth rate plummeting to just 6.8 births per 1,000 people in 2022. By 2100, China's population is projected to decline to 51.1%. That's a huge drop. South Korea is also struggling with the world's lowest fertility rate. Its population is expected to shrink from 52 million today to just 38 million by 2060, a 28% decline in just 40 years. While Japan and its neighbors face similar demographic challenges, their approaches differ. Japan has historically maintained strict anti-immigration policies, with only 3% of its population being foreign-born. In contrast, countries like Australia and the UK have embraced immigration with 30% and 15% foreign-born populations, respectively. While Japan may be the first to face this crisis head-on, it certainly won't be the last. The world is watching to see how Japan navigates this challenge, and there are lessons to be learned for other countries facing their aging crisis. But one thing is clear: the days of a young, vibrant Japan are numbered unless drastic action is taken. So, will Japan become the first country with no young people? The fate of Japan's future hangs in the balance. With a demographic crisis this unprecedented, the risks are real: a shrinking population, a dwindling workforce, and a fading economy. But there's still hope. Japan can turn the tide with innovative solutions and a willingness to adapt. The world is watching, and the implications are global. How can Japan avoid becoming a nation without young people? What other topics should we explore? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.